Good morning, everyone. I have so much to say, and I don't even know if I can just fit it all inside of this video, but I'm going to try my very best. This video is especially for Black people because unfortunately I am coming back at you with another I told you so. My people are going to learn to listen to me one day. With that being said, why are you shocked? Why is the fact that Ophelia turned out to be MAGA got y'all in the chokehold that it's got y'all in? Why is that? Ophelia, better known as Mama Tot, it's shocking the number of Black people that didn't see through that persona. It's shocking. Remember the white girl Brittany, Conscious Lee, the guy with the red beard, I Speak, all over on TikTok. They all stood her at one point. And I said, something about that child ain't right. And I remember I went down into Brittany's comments in a video that she did when she was talking about some other sisters were trying to hold her accountable for her black scent. And she started going on off, did this video about how her stepdaddy or somebody was black and she was raised up in the hood, and all lies. All lies. And I got down in her comments and I said something really truthful and very harsh. I forget what it was, but the sheer number of Black people, Black women in particular, who came for my head. And here it is all this time later, and I hear she's full on MAGA now because a lot of you don't know the difference between a persona and a personality. And that's why so many of these white folks are able to fool y'all. This is how Mama Tot was able to fool y'all, and y'all weren't able to see through those personas. These white folks get on these platforms and they do the same thing to y'all that, listen, Tubi TV is doing to y'all. Tubi TV, they're this, I don't know if you watch Tubi or not, but they're this channel, this free channel that you can tune into. And they show all these Black exploitative type movies that Black people just clamor to. And slowly, over the course of time, because Black people don't question shit, they're starting to get into the white movies and this and that and that and that and that and this. And you're starting to see, the infiltration. And of course you're going to see it. Because Black people, what Fox News, Fox TV, the people who own that, the right-wing mass media, what they are doing is they are using Black people to build up the platform, your numbers. And then when you get it to where they want to be in terms of advertising dollars and popularity, they're going to abandon you. They're no longer going to show that content. And then they'll have the people that they really want there. Because everybody knows that, except for Black people, that Black culture sells. And so because Black people love it so much, others will eventually come. And when they start seeing those demographics, then that's what they're going to do. In the meantime, Black people are watching this channel, and because Black people are giving this channel their energy, their attention, which is money in terms of advertising dollars. Other people, because they love blackness in a way that blackness don't even understand, they will eventually start paying attention to the things that black people pay attention to. This is literally why we can never get white folks out of our business. But very few black people understand that. And so these white folks on social media, they do the same thing. They follow the same formula. They start catering to what black people want to see and what black people want to hear, because they know how desperate you are for white approval. They know how desperate you are for assimilation. They know how desperate you are for their support and their love. They know how desperate you are to hear one of them say, "Your Black Lives Matters." And they'll say it to you, and they won't even mean that shit. But because you need to hear it so badly, because you have not deconstructed your internalized racism, and let's just tell the truth, because it is the truth. We can't fix it unless we acknowledge the truth. All black people have internalized racism. You cannot live in a nation that's racist, in a world this anti-black, and not have internalized racism. It's just a part of being black in a world this anti-black. Everywhere you go as a black person, everything you do, almost every aspect of our lives, even within our own families with colorism, which is a component of white supremacy. We are told that white light is better. That messaging gets sent to us. Even when we're little kids and we go to the toy stores and we see the white baby dolls on top and the black baby dolls down on the bottom. We see white shows like Friends that can take their whole model from a show like Living Single, and white people just love it. And those are the shows where the actors get paid $1 million per episode. But what did Living Single, the show that they modeled after and stole from, what did those actors get paid per episode? There are white people with really big platforms who have been caught being racist or anti-black, and y'all still clamor to them. Y'all still tag them into black people business. I be seeing y'all whenever it's some issue going on with a black person has been killed by a cop. Y'all tagging in that Danish or that Our Exorcist or whatever her name is, or what's that other guy with the beard? Whatever his name is. Y'all are tagging them in. And they're not actual anti-racist. They just white folks that talk a good game, say what y'all want to hear. Y'all clamor to their platform. Y'all support them. Meanwhile, it's black people saying the exact same thing, but actually mean it, have lived the experience, trying to tell y'all better, but y'all will not support their platforms. Look at their numbers. And then look at the numbers of people like Mama Top. I remember when everybody wanted her to speak on, I guess, what was it? George Floyd. You could see she was lying. She didn't believe none of that shit that was coming out of her mouth. You could see the lie. But because y'all have not deconstructed, y'all can't see it. It was clear as day she didn't believe none of that shit that came out of her mouth. And he had his foot on his neck for her, and you can't just... You know what? As a black person, and maybe I shouldn't say this. I don't know. Well, I'm going to say it. But truthfully, as a black person, let me tell you how I deal with white people. First off, I expect white people to be white people. I do. At the end of the day, I don't expect for white people to do anything more than just be who they are. That's no more, no less. I don't have any expectations from white people. None. And I approach every white person unknown to me like they are a racist. I assume they're all racist. I do. I did a video saying that once upon a time. And then, of course, all the racists got down in the comments. Being who they are, completely proving my point. I expect all white people to be racist. I do. I expect for them to be who they are. And then, over the course of knowing them and over time, they have the opportunity to prove me wrong. Most of them don't. Because most of them don't give a fuck about black people, but as a black person, I don't need them to. Too many of y'all seem to need them to. And that's where y'all going wrong. And that's why y'all keep turning up looking stupid, looking like a fool. Mama Tot, little thin, blonde-haired woman with a southern accent, tell y'all something and y'all just... But me, a fat black woman that won't code switch, y'all hold no value in what I say when I be trying to tell y'all. I told y'all them Palestinians didn't like your black asses. Then look. I told y'all about that white girl Brittany. Then look what happened. I told y'all, people who followed me, when y'all saw that last TikTok that I did, people who followed me for years said, yes, you did say that about Ophelia. I told you she wasn't nobody y'all could trust. I told y'all. And I still saw folks that followed me was still following her. And now you shocked because she's spewing right-wing conspiracy theories and lies because she MAGA? Did y'all really see Mama Tot voting for Kamala Harris? Did y'all really see Mama Tot voting blue? Come on now. We cannot be this dense. You cannot be that dense. Stop needing them so bad and they'll stop fooling you. I'm going to tell you something else too. You can never, ever really fully trust any white person as long as they have the ability to lean into their whiteness whenever it benefits them. Like that art exorcist lady, for example. She got married at a whole plantation. No real anti-racist would have done that. Tizzy that's his name. When he got caught being anti-black, he just gaslit y'all and doubled down. And y'all still tagging him and following him. No backbone. Just no backbone. Same thing with that Dinesh. When he got caught being anti-black, he doubled down and gaslit y'all. Y'all still there. Meanwhile, y'all got all these wonderful black creators who are trying to educate you all, teach y'all something, help y'all, and keep y'all informed. And y'all don't pay them no attention. Y'all don't pay their platforms no attention. Y'all don't give their platforms half the support. Half the support. And let me tell you why that is. It's because you have not deconstructed your internalized racism. And your internalized racism tells you that whiteness is more valuable, more trustworthy, and you believe it. And that's just the truth. You believe it. You go over and you support these white creators because you think that they're smarter. You think they know more. You think that they are somehow more capable and qualified to teach you, a black person, about your very existence, an existence that they do not experience. Why would you ever listen to a white person? Why would you ever let a white person teach you about anti-racism and racism? That's your first fuck up. Their people supposed to be listening to them. When I had the white creators that teach those things to white people, sometimes I listen to those conversations. I remember one time I heard one conversation going on, and there was a white woman, and she was saying, excuse me, she was saying how she was deconstructing her internalized racism. And I'm like, girl, excuse me, white people don't internalize racism. Usually I'm very quiet in those conversations. You know, I just look and see what they're talking about for a minute or two. I go on about my business. But sometimes they can say some so obviously wrong shit that I just have to step in. And so I did a video on that comment. White people can't internalize racism. Only black people and other people of color internalize racism. White people don't experience internalized racism. What white people are experiencing is just their racism. It's just good old schmegular regular racism that you have to deconstruct from. You do not internalize racism. You are socially conditioned to be a racist, and that is what you have to deconstruct from. Black people are socially conditioned to believe that whiteness is more superior than blackness. That is what we have to deconstruct from. That is called internalized racism. When you are internalizing all of the fucked up shit that white supremacy tells you about both blackness and whiteness. Sometimes I'll get in there, but I for the most part, I just let those white anti-racists teach white people how to deconstruct from that. And some do a good job and some do not such a good job. But I'm going to tell you, as a black person, your first mistake, your very, very first mistake is listening to white anti-racists and trying to learn anything from them. There are black scholars who have studied this systemic racism, legal racism, medical racism, institutional racism, environmental racism, racism for their whole academic careers. Their books should be flying off the shelves. Their seminars should be standing room only. That is who you turn to for your guidance and your knowledge and your learning. Mama Todd, how y'all let that slick southern accent fool y'all? Until you deconstruct from your internalized racism, you're going to always hold what they say valuable. We are not like them is not just a song. It is the truth of the matter. We are not like them. They are not like us. We are not supposed to be like them. You have all this scientific evidence that black people and blackness was here first, and yet you want to be like them? You don't want to build your own foundations, your own systems? Your own kingdoms? Instead, you want to participate in theirs. And again, that is because you have not deconstructed from your own internalized racism. You don't even hold yourself equal to them. You know, I curated this space for black people, and there are white people who follow me. I don't have a problem with that. But sometimes y'all forget that, and that I have a problem with. This space puts blackness and black people first. Don't ever, as a white person, come into this space and ask me to change it in a way that makes you comfortable to be here. Black people, listen to what I just said to white people. This is me putting blackness and black people first. And y'all can stand, a lot of y'all could stand to learn that lesson. And I get it. It is a process and it is work. But you can deconstruct from what the world tells you about yourself and other black people. Start by loving yourself, because until you start learning to love everything about being black, from your kinky ass hair to your wide ass nose to your black ass skin, you're never going to be able to love other black people. And if you are never able to love other black people, you will not love black communities. You will not support black people. Black people will remain cast at the bottom. And white people will always have their feet on our necks. They will always be able to come into our homes and murder us. They will always be able to pull us over and murder us. They will always be able to pay us less. They will always be able to put us in jobs where we are in service to them. They will always be able to brutalize our children when we are not watching. Eventually, they're going to try to take away our vote too. And y'all are not watching. Did you see the video of the black MAGA supporter that was at the rally with the white guys and they beat his ass? That's really what most of them feel about most of us. They don't care if you are voting for them. That's the way they want to see us. And they are slowly changing these laws and taking away protections in order to get us right back there on the ground being beat by them. Learn how to love yourself. Learn how to love other black people. Deconstruct that internalized racism bullshit. And stop putting them before you put yourselves. Stop wanting to participate in their world. Stop building their world. Stop financially supporting their world and start putting your dollars and your support in your own communities. Otherwise, we're going to be back in fucking chains. I need coffee. If you'd like to buy me a cup, I'm going to put my Venmo and Cash App down in the comments. If you'd like to support my platform, also, my Venmo and Cash App will be down in the comments. I will also put the link for our library, our curbside library, in the comments. I want to thank you for listening. Y'all have a great day and enjoy the rest of your coffee.